Hello there, and welcome back to the Codex. Today, I want to go over some newfound power that Wisp has found with the 1999 update, bringing her a lot of new toys that she likes to include in her arsenal. So let's go ahead and go over that. First of all, for those of you that are interested in what Archon shards I have on the build, I'm running 1 armor, 1 health, 1 casting speed, 1 ability strength, and 1 max corrosive stacks emerald shard. Going into the actual build here, my build has actually remained exactly the same mod-wise, except for the Aura mod, changing to Worthy Camaraderie, which we'll talk about in just a moment here. Both of the arcanes, however, have changed to 2 of the new 1999 arcanes that you get from the Hex Syndicate. One of which being Arcane Crepuscular, which says, while invisible, you gain 30% ability strength and plus 3x final critical multiplier, and that's to your entire loadout. The other one says, gain 6% ability strength for every 250 max health up to 72%. So thanks to Wisp's first ability, when we put down a health mode, being able to generate a large max health increase, this arcane scales with your current max health, not your modded max health, so it includes buffs. So with Bellicose and enough strength, especially if you go into a Fisher mission, for example, and get corrupted for that double strength, or if you use Nidus Specters to increase your strength temporarily, it's very easy to max this arcane out and get the full 72%, but it's even easier to at least get 60% so that you can match Molt Augmented's 60%, because a lot of you are probably currently using that, and that is very easy to match because that only requires 2,500 health as opposed to the 3,000 health you need to max out this arcane. Now, Crepuscular, you're able to trigger the 30% strength from this in 2 different ways on her. One, Wisp's passive ability is that while she's airborne, as in when you just hop up in the air, you turn invisible, and you're invisible as long as you don't shoot a gun. The other thing is that her second ability, which is Will-O-Wisp, for the entire duration of your Will-O-Wisp traveling out after you cast it, you are also invisible for that entire duration. So if you want, you can pop out the Wisp, and then while the Wisp is traveling, you will benefit from the 30% strength. During that time period, place down your motes so that the motes have that additional 30% strength to benefit from, which will also help you trigger more health from the health mote to get the full benefit from Bellicose, so they feed into each other. So once both of these are maxed out, you actually have 102% additional power strength from the combination of both of these arcane's strength buffs. So if you look at my build here, it says 371. It's actually 473% strength once everything is stacked up. So it's very easy to get incredibly strong modes from your reservoir. Now, Worthy Camaraderie. Why am I running this aura? So, fun fact for you, for those of you that don't know about Breach Surge, Wisp's third ability, the damage that Breach Surge does is actually coded as weapon damage, not ability damage. So a lot of things affect it that you might not think would affect it. For example, one of the reasons why I have Nourish replacing her fourth ability is that this viral weapon damage buff actually applies viral to the Breach Surge sparks, which is a absolutely enormous damage increase, and Breach Surge actually has status chance. It has 20% status chance at base, which on my current build is 74%, so it very frequently will proc viral on the enemy as well as doing viral damage. Another hilarious thing about this counting as weapon damage, Breach Surge has a base 100% crit chance, which typically you wouldn't think that you could augment because it's ability, so it just has guaranteed regular yellow crits, and it has a very paltry 1.5x crit multiplier. So the way that it's supposed to work is that it always crits, and it always crits for doing 50% more damage because it has a 1.5x multiplier. However, there's some tech that we've been using for a while, ever since Tenacious Bond came out. Tenacious Bond's 1.2x flat crit multiplier applies, again, to Breach Surge sparks because it views it as a weapon. So instead of 1.5, you now have a 2.7 crit multiplier on Breach Surge. That already was a huge buff, but then they went and made the mistake of releasing Arcane Crepuscular, which gives your loadout a global plus 3x final crit multiplier. So instead of 2.7x crit from Tenacious Bond on Breach Surge, we are now all the way up to 5.7x crit multiplier. Not only that, but Worthy Camaraderie adds 75% weak point critical chance, so it only adds that crit chance to weak points. But guess what Breach Surge does? It specifically attempts to get headshots. So whenever it gets a headshot, it will get that 75% additional crit chance. And since Breach Surge has a base crit chance of 100%, this aura mod adding 75% is actually adding 75%, because 75% of 100 is 75. So all of a sudden you go from 100% crit chance, dealing only regular crits, up to 175% crit chance, dealing mostly orange crits, with a 5.7x crit multiplier. So quite a bit of crit damage. So we get crit chance to Breach Surge from this, flat extra crit damage from this and Tenacious Bond, and we apply viral damage to it from Nourish. So let's hop into a survival mission and show the absolutely stunningly hilarious amounts of damage that Breach Surge is able to do, especially when you pair with something like any weapon that does insane amounts of damage. For example, this Basmu. This is not a Basmu video, but just in case you guys are curious on the build that you're about to see triggering all of these Breach Surge sparks, here is my Basmu build. Does crazy amounts of damage. Now let's go hop over to a conjunction survival and take a look at this. Alright, so here we are. We're now in the survival. So I'm going to put down my health mode to give myself the starting Bellicose buff, which currently is 52%. And I actually forgot to use my second ability to turn invisible, so let's do that. Cast it again. Get 56. Cast it again. Still 56. So we're a little bit capped out for now, but that's okay. We can easily get that up, especially if you want to do one little trick I mentioned. You can throw down a Nidus Spectre, and having that linked to you will give you a huge power strength buff, because when Nidus Spectre is linked to you, they give you a multiplicative 28% power strength increase, as in your modded power strength times 1.28. So let's do that again. Turn invisible, then place it down. You see, now we got much higher there. We're now at 2,700 health, and we have a 65% Bellicose buff. Let's pop Nourish here. Let's go ahead and cast Breach Surge. And then they took my gun, so that's very rude of them. Grab my Basmu back, and we'll see what kind of damage we can do here. Yeah, just saw like a 7.1 million orange crit there. You can see, like I said, typically this ability cannot orange crit, but thanks to Worthy Camaraderie, whenever your Breach Surge hits that headshot, it's going to have a 75% chance of being an orange crit instead of a yellow crit, which increases your crit multiplier. So, a very hilarious damage increase, combining all these factors together. Let's go ahead and turn invisible again so we get that flat crit multiplier bonus. That was a 50 million Breach Surge hit that you just saw. 50 million Breach Surge hit. Yeah, it's actually ridiculous how much damage that she does. Let's go ahead and put down my motes again. Let's put all three down this time. You can see the fire rate gets real crazy on her. And yes, the Basmu is also clinically insane, by the way. This weapon is actually incredible. I'm trying to not kill them too fast with just my gun so we can see how crazy just the Breach Surge itself is. Let's get a headshot here. There's a 217 million Breach Surge hit. So nearly 250 million damage for killing one enemy. 20 million. Yeah, it's quite good. It is quite good. Let's go ahead and let the Acolyte spawn in as well, just to show you that she has no issues dealing with Acolytes either. Alrighty, here comes the Acolyte. Let's go ahead and pop my 2. We'll pop Breach Surge on him. Let's see if we can't land some headshots here. Oh yeah, they do not like the Basmu. Wow, they do really not like the Basmu. Yep, you're dead. Yeah, so she absolutely dominates Acolytes as well, assuming you have the right weapon, of course, because she definitely likes having a good weapon in her hands to pair with that Breach Surge. Now, one more little bonus clip for you here. Alright, so I'm back in a mission with a full team this time. It's already very funny that you're able to make Breach Surge orange crit 75% of the time with your own Worthy Camaraderie on, but don't forget, Worthy Camaraderie is an aura mod. So if a full team of people has it on, that's now plus 300% crit chance. And again, its base crit chance is 100%. So adding 300 is literally adding 300. So now you're at 400% crit chance whenever it lands a headshot, which is a guaranteed tier 2 red crit. So let's go ahead and get these enemies going here. And again, they won't all be headshots, but it does attempt to go for headshots. So when we do hit that, you're going to see very, very insane damage numbers. Let's go ahead and do a Breach Surge here once I get a little bit of energy. There we go. See, there's another red crit right there. Yeah, we're seeing the red crits. There's another one. Let's go ahead and turn myself invisible so I can get that damage bonus. There's another one. Yeah, the fact that you can make Breach Surge red crit now is comically hilarious. I never thought I would see the day. There's a 7.2 million. Yeah, you're as you can see, we're getting multiple red crits. Not all the time, but whenever it lands that headshot, again, it's a guaranteed tier 2 red crit. Let's try that again. There's another one. Yeah, I just wanted to show how absolutely hilarious you can make Breach Surge by combining all of some of the older tech that we have along with all of the new tech that we got from 1999. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you tried it out yourselves, let me know how hilarious this is in your own missions, and I'll see you guys in the next one.